Okay, back for another Sabbath. Okay, press OK. All praise, first of all, back for another Shabbat, right? Want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. And we do so in the name of Yahweh Shah, that's the Heavenly Father, in the name of the Son, the Messiah, who died for our sins, right? Back for another Sabbath, right? I got two things I want to teach on today. The first thing I want to teach on is God controls everything, right? And then I want to read the book of Habakkuk in the Old Testament. It's three chapters. Hopefully, I get through them. Right. And so this lesson got brought about by, right. So you got people. It's really twofold. So you got people teaching. Let's go to Genesis chapter 6. I guess I'm gonna start a little different than I thought I was. Genesis 6:1. So I don't know. So this Genesis chapter 6, verse 1, right? And a lot of people that believe in the fake books, mainly the book of Enoch, right? They believe that this is the fallen angels, this when angels and Satan fighting against God. And the angels came down and had sex with women. This is where that doctrine derives from, this in the book of Enoch. And then you got to understand most of the people that deal with those books, fake books that popped up in the 17 and 1800s in English. They don't have a Hebrew manuscript or Latin manuscript or Arabic manuscript or Greek manuscript. It's just in English, right? Well, those fake books, most of the people that's into them don't really know the Bible. They know doctrines, but don't really know what the Bible teaches, right? And I'm talking about our people. You know what I'm saying? This Genesis chapter 6, verse 1. This is where the fallen angel doctrine come from. And it says, and it and it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, daughters were born unto them, right? And the sons of God saw the daughters of men that they were fair. Now, one main point that they're gonna have are the sons of God. They're gonna say Christ is called the Son of God, and the angels are called the Son of God, but nobody else, right? And the easiest way to disprove this is go to Hosea chapter 1, verse 10. Go to Hosea 1 and 10 real quick. Israelites are called the sons of God, right? It's Hosea chapter 1, verse 10, and it reads, and yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said to them, ye are not my people, so that's her, we were told we were not the people of God, there shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living God. So there go Israel is being called the sons of God, right? Now go back to Genesis chapter 6. And it's like I said, it came from two places. So I'm finna, this is one angle, and then I'm finna explain the second angle second. So and it came to pass when the men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, the sons of God, the Israelites saw the daughters of men, saw the heathen nation women, that they were fair, they looked good, and they took them wives of all which they chose. That's what the Bible is saying. But they don't think the Bible said that. They think the Bible just said, the sons of God saw the daughters of men. So the angels in heaven was looking down, and they saw some girls, and they looked good, and they and they came down here and had babies with them. And verse 3, and the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be as 120 years. And there were giants, to go to second point of contention, giants, right? Now they said the book of Enoch says the giants were 450 feet. I believe the Enoch's Bible said, Enoch book said that they were 450, 300 cubits born. 300 cubits is 450 feet. A cubit is like a foot and a half, right? So they were 450 feet, right? According to the book of Enoch, the book of Jubilees says 3,000 cubits, which is 3,500, 3,500. I mean, 4,500, not even. So, but make a long story short, the arch is around 300 cubits, 400 cubits, right? So women were having babies the size of an arch, the arch, a building, right? That doesn't make common sense. Then where are the bones to these giants? Because there were giants according to the Bible, like Goliath. He was a giant. There's a giant in the Torah. I think his beard was 13 feet tall, right? Shaq is considered a giant, but then a giant is also like rulers and mighty men. You don't necessarily have to be tall to be a giant according to the Bible, but those are the giants. But they're saying, oh no, these were actual, 450 foot people, and women were having these babies from angels. That's what they say. So again, verse 4. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, and they bare children with them, the same became mighty men, which were of old men of renown, right? And God saw the wickedness of man, that it was great in the earth, and every imagination. And this one, he created the Tower of Babel and all that other. But make a long story short, this is where the fallen angel doctrine comes from. Then we got a second point of contention where a person doesn't, in Christianity, they teach you to be kind of simple. So you think everything good is God and everything bad is the devil or Satan. And that Satan is having a battle with God, and God done created some angels and Satan that's powerful enough that he can't just destroy him. He couldn't just destroy him yesterday. They keep fighting against them. Like they got this idea in their head that there's a back and forth battle going on between demonic spirits and God. And God, keep in mind, God created, the Father created everything, but apparently he created them so powerful he can't destroy him. That's the other line of reasoning and thought, right? So you have everything good being attributed to the Most High, and everything bad being attributed to Satan and the devil. Unbeknownst to them, the Bible teaches that everything and every angel, every so-called demon follows the will of the Most High. We're like in his movie, and we're characters in his film, so to speak. We have no control over the things now from our perspective on a micro level. Yes, we have choices every day, right? But on a grand scale, from the Most High view, now we don't know his thoughts, we don't know his ways. We're gonna get into that. But from a micro level, it seems as though we have choices. But from a overall standpoint, everything is predestined, right? So we're gonna get into that today. The first one. So when I heard this argument, the person put forth that let's just destroy the angels disobeying the Most High real quick. Go to Psalms 103 and 20. Because even Satan, if you go to the book of Job, actually, let's go to Job real quick. Job 1 and 1, then we're going to jump back to Psalms 103. Even Satan obeys the Most High. He works for the Most High. He separates people, right? Separate the good from the wicked. He come to you, either you're going to overcome them, but overall, it was in the Most High will whether you overcome them or not. But I'll digress. This is Satan following, doing the will of the Most High. And there was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job. The man was perfect and upright, one that feareth Yahweh and eschewed evil. And there were born unto him 7 sons and 3 daughters. His substance, and let me just drop down to the scroll down. I think it's like verse 7, verse 6. Now there was in a day, and now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before Yahweh, and Satan came also. So you guys, The sons of God, in this case, they're angels, right? But I already done proved Israelites can be called the sons of God also. But the sons of God, angels, present themselves in front of the Most High, and Satan came too. This is actual Satan. This ain't the devil. This ain't Lucifer, because Lucifer is a man. Devils are men, according to the Bible. Isaiah chapter 14 says Lucifer is the man, right? So this is Satan, right? This is the spiritual demon Satan, right? So this it says, and the Lord said unto Satan, whence comest thou? He said, where are you coming from? Then Satan answered the Yahweh and said, from going to and fro in the earth, from walking up and down in it. So he was like, I was walking around looking for something to do, right? Boom. And in verse 8, and Yahweh said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job? So Yahweh gave him, hey, I got something for you. Here you go, Job. That there is none like him in the earth, the perfect and the upright man, one that feareth Yahweh and eschewed evil. And Satan answered the Lord, Yahweh said, doeth Job fear God for not? Right? So he said, has not thou made a hedge about him? Right? So he said, you got a hedge is like protection, like a gate. He said, has thou made a hedge about him and about his house and all that he had on every side, that thou hast blessed the work of his hands and the substance of his increase in his hands? He said, Job, that's the reason why Job loved you. Look what all you done did for him, right? But put forth thy hand now and to touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face. And the Lord said unto Satan, behold, all that he hath is in thy power. Only upon himself put not forth thy hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord. So the Most High told him what he could and couldn't do. And then did Satan go disobey him? No. He came back in the next chapter and he said, hey, after he done did all that he did, and Job is everything but dead, he in bad. Actually, he took care, he made him poor, right? So the first, all his animals his flock got scattered, his house got destroyed, he made poor in one day. Job still didn't curse the Most High, but he was over. He thought he deserved. The Job problem was he was self-righteous. He thought he deserved something, and everything is a gift from the Most High. We don't deserve nothing. That was Job's problem. But make a long story short, when he made him poor, Satan came back up there and said, "Hey, I made him poor. I didn't mess with him, but I made him poor. I listened to you. But if you like put him on his deathbed, then he'd curse you." And then the Most High said, "You can do that, but you can't kill him." Right? And then he went and did that, and Job still didn't do it. But Job, and the Most High ended up rebuking Job for self-righteousness, but Job was still an upright man, right? But my point is, with giving a soliloquy and a summary of the book of Job, Satan obeyed the Most High, right? Now, let's go to Psalms 103 and 20. Now, let's look at these angels, right? The angels supposed to be fighting against the Most High. Satan's supposed to be fighting against the Most High, right? Satan's supposed to have all this power, but yet the Most High decides who getting tested and who ain't, right? Psalms 103, we finna start at verse 20. It says, "Bless the Lord Yahweh, ye his angels that excel in strength, that do his commandments, hearkening to the voice of the word." So one more time, blessed be the Lord and ye his angels that excel in strength, that do his commandments, hearkening to the voice of his word. So the angels, according to Psalms 103 and 20, do his commandments. According to the Bible, let's keep going. Go to Psalm 78 and 49. Psalms chapter 78 and 49. And let's get into it. Verse 49. All right. This Psalm 78 and 49. It says, "He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath, indignation," right? "And trouble by sending evil angels among them." This is Yahweh. He sent evil angels among them, right? Actually, to explain this verse better, give me 1 second. I got to the aligned spirit. Okay. We need First Kings chapter 22. Actually, I'm gonna give. Okay, is this the same account? Okay, give me First Kings chapter 22, verse 21. First Kings chapter 22, verse 21. Scroll up a little bit. A couple verses. That was 21. Okay, let me start at 18. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna start at 18. It says this First Kings 22 and 18, and it says, "In the king of Israel now, Psalms chapter, what was that, 78 and 49 just said he sent forth the evil angels," right? This is going to further explain that because everybody does the will of the Most High. This First Kings 22 and 18, and it says, "And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, did I not tell thee that he would prophesy no good concerning me, but evil? And he said, hearing thou therefore the word of Yahweh, I saw the Lord Yahweh sitting on his throne, and all the hosts of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left. And the Lord said, Yahweh said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramahath Lagiad, right? And one said, so this is Yahweh in heaven having a conversation with his angels, right? Yahweh said, which one of y'all gonna go forth to persuade Ahab that he may go fall at Rahamath Lagiad, right? And one said in the manner, and one said in another manner, right? And there came forth the spirit and stood before Yahweh and said, I will persuade him. And Yahweh said unto him, wherewith? Like how, right? And he said, I will go forth and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, thou shalt persuade him and prevail also. Go forth and do so. That a lying spirit is what you would call what, a demon? Well, that demon got his order from Yahweh, right? Go back to Psalm 78 and 49. So if you got a demon on you, if you got some spirits on you, right? Just for anybody hearing this, right? The Most High sent them to you. The Most High is the one that's going to get them up off you, right? Some spirits, according to the Bible, some spirits don't come off you other than fasting and praying, right? But that's what those are, right? So this Psalm 78, verse 49, and it reads, he cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath, indignation, and trouble by sending evil angels among them, right? So that's Yahweh. Satan worked for him. The evil angels worked for him, right? The good angels worked for him. Go to Job chapter 12, verse 16. Job chapter 12, verse 16. Job Book of Job 12 and 16, and it reads, with him is strength and wisdom. The deceit, because some people will say, oh, the righteous are following the will of God, but the wicked are not. Oh, the wicked just doing what they want to do. Well, Job chapter 12, verse 16, with him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his, right? So it don't matter which one you are. If you got deceived by something, Most High had you in his hands. If you're the deceiver, you're in his hands. Actually, what verse says go to Ezekiel 14 and 9. I think that's it. I don't want to skip because one of these verses is okay. No, I want to go back to that. Go to Jeremiah 10 and 23. I'm gonna come back to Ezekiel 14 and 9. The deceived and the deceiver are his, right? Uh, okay, let me just go back in order. Give me Proverbs 20 and 24. But the deceived and the deceiver are both his, right? I'm finna come back to both of these verses. I went out of order, trying to find a different verse. So this Proverbs 20 and 24, 20 and 24. It says, a man goings of the Lord, how can a man then understand his own way? You think you making your decisions in your day, right? You're the matrix or a simulation, that's somewhat true, right? Because the man goings are of the Lord. The Most High done dictated what you was gonna do today before you was born, right? How can a man then understand his own way? Go to Ezekiel, no, go to back to Jeremiah 10 and 23. So whoever doing something, his goings are of Yahweh, right? Verse Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 23. Oh Yahweh, I know that the way of a man is not in himself. So you might think the ways of you are within yourself, but it's not. Is it not in a man that walk? Hold on. Oh Lord, I know that the way of a man is not in himself. It is not of a man that walketh to direct his steps, right? So we already understand the Most High direction, right? We think from our micro level, we think that we're making choices. We decided to be righteous. We decided to be wicked. We decided these things when in reality, these things were decided for us in predestination, right? We're literally who the Most High created, right? Nobody has choices, right? Jonah, when he got swallowed by that whale, he was supposed to go to Nineveh and preach to the Israelites that was there, right? He didn't want to go, but did he have a choice? No, he got swallowed up by that whale, and he went, after he got out that whale belly, he went right to Nineveh. You don't have a choice, right? Pharaoh, his heart got hardened, right? You think he was walking around saying, I'm a harden my heart to Moses? No, right? Even when he tried to unharden his heart, it didn't work because the Most High created him for that, right? That was his destiny. He had to do that. That had to happen, right? Go back to Ezekiel 14 and 9. Now let's get that. This is Ezekiel chapter 14 and verse 9, and it reads, and if the prophet be deceived when he has spoken a thing, now who got a false prophet, right? And if the prophet be deceived when he has spoken a thing, I, the Lord, have deceived that prophet, and I will stretch out my hand upon him, and I will destroy him from the midst of my people Israel. So he went off, the Most High knew he was going to go off, or made him go off because he was destined to go off, and then he destroyed him for going off. The Most High controls everything, right? That's literally what this verse just said. One more time, and if a prophet be deceived when he has spoken a thing, I, the Lord, have deceived that prophet, and I will stretch out my hand upon him, and I will destroy him from the midst of my people, right? Let's go, give me Isaiah 45 and 7. Okay, this Isaiah 45 and 7, and it reads, I formed the light, I created darkness, I make peace, and I create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things, right? So the Most High does everything. He created everything. Everything is in his power. There's not a war going on with angels and Satan, and they beefing against Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, right? Nah, that devil that's beefing with Yahweh is the same one that gave you white Jesus and that killed all the Israelites and threw them in slavery. You dig what I'm saying? And just trying to put a camera on every corner so he can see everything like the Most High, and trying to that's the Satan or the devil that he battling against. You want to make it spiritual so you ain't got to deal with reality, but the reality of it is that's who's fighting against God, right? Him and us. We fighting against God because we don't want to be who we supposed to be, right? But this Isaiah 45 and 17, 7 one more time. It says, I form the light and created darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord Yahweh, do all these things. Give me Proverbs 16:9. Okay, this is Proverbs 16:9. This is I think this what like Jeremiah 10:23 said. It says, a man heart devises its own way, but the Lord directs his steps. So you can, how many times you done made plans, right? I planned on doing this and I planned on doing that. And I planned, we can make all the plans in the world, right? But and they gonna fail, right? But when you the most high say something is gonna happen, that's how it's gonna happen, right? That's why you should plan through the most high, right? Pray on your plans, right? And if it be of the most high will, then it's gonna happen, right? Y'all willing. But how many times you done planned something and it didn't happen, right? One more time. Proverbs 16:9. A man heart devises his way, but the Lord Yahweh directs his steps. Give me Amos 3:6, right? Amos 3:6. Because let's just say, let me read the verse first. It's Amos chapter 3 and verse 6, right? And it says, and a trumpet shall be blown in the city, and it says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people are not afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord have not done it? So let's just say, so we all know somebody got killed last night, right? Israelite, right? May the Most High have mercy on their soul, right? Well, if somebody killed them, and the Most High, Most High did everything. So that wicked person that did it, they gonna get judged, and a person that got judgment last night, that was their judgment, right? But the Most High controls that. Most High controls everything. When your time up, your time is up. You don't control it, right? So everything is controlled by the Most High. Everything. Give me Proverbs 21:1. And it's Proverbs 21:1, and it says, the king heart is in the hand of Yahweh the Lord, as the rivers of water. He turneth it wheresoever he will. So you, the judge or the king or whoever, right? The Most High make him however the Most High want him to be, that's how he gonna be. If the Most High want him to be an evil ruler, he gonna be an evil ruler, right? Just like we didn't even choose to be with the Most High. He said, what was that verse? He said, you didn't choose me, I chose you, right? That ain't even our choice. Even though we thought it was our choice, and we looking at our brothers and sisters like, wake up, it's your choice. It's literally of the Most High. It's literally of the Most High. The Most High controls everything. But the overarching view is, you know what I'm saying? We are not seeing and living out things from the Most High perspective, right? We're not in control the way He's in control. So as our perspective, there's choices, right? There's A, B, C, D. But in the reality of things, Most High done chose A, B, C, D for us, right? And you are created who you're supposed to be, right? Pharaoh was created to be Pharaoh. He couldn't be nothing other than that. Jonah was created for what he did, right? He couldn't, even if he wanted to be something different, he couldn't, right? And that brings me to Habakkuk chapter 1. Let's read Habakkuk chapter 1. Habakkuk is in the Old Testament, right? Right there. Habakkuk chapter 1, verse 1. All right. And it's Habakkuk, right? So Habakkuk is he lived right around the time of Jeremiah. Him and Jeremiah are contemporaries. So he lived around the time of Jeremiah, right before the Babylonians captivity. But the way he prophesies in the book of Habakkuk, he's not talking about ancient Babylon like Jeremiah would. Jeremiah would talk about ancient Babylon, and then also he would talk about mystery Babylon or the daughter of Babylon. This is along the same lines, right? So this Habakkuk chapter 1, verse 1. the burden which Habakkuk the prophet did see. O Yahweh, how long shall I cry, and thou wilt not hear? Even cry out to thee of violence, and thou wilt not save. Why doest thou show me iniquity and cause me to hold grievance? For spoil and violence are before me, and there are that rise up strife and contention. Therefore, the law is slack, right? So at this time and in our time, because his time and our time are mirrored to each other, right? In his time, right? He's finna go into we're in Babylon, right? He basically, Babylon is finna come upon them, or then they finna be in Babylon also, right? It's the mirror of each other. But his Babylon, he ain't got Esau, but we finna, that's why this book's so dope. But he finna make a long story short, we're gonna get to it. Y'all will. So he's in Babylon and he's saying the law is slack, right? The law is slack. Ain't nobody keeping the laws like they supposed to, right? Therefore, the law is slack and judgment doeth never go forth. For the wickedness doeth compass about the righteous. Therefore, wrong judgment proceedeth. And that's what we see here. Wrong judgment proceedeth, right? The LGBT can marry. That's a law, right? They making pedophile laws and all kind of blood drinking and bestiality laws, right? Was I done? Scroll back up to 4. Did I read 4? Verse 4. Yeah, okay. Okay, and the judgment, wrong judgment proceeded. Verse 5. Behold, ye among the heathens, behold ye among the heathens in regard and wonder marvelously, right? So behold ye among the heathens, regard and wonder marvelously, for I will work a work in your days which you will not believe, though it be told to you. And that's what's happening with us, right? We behold the Most High around these heathens, and even though we know what's going to happen, it's still going to be marvelous to us, right? For lo, I raised up the Chaldeans, right? The Chaldeans are the Babylonians. So, and keep in mind, we're in Babylon, right? For I raised up the Chaldeans, that bitter and hasty nation, which shall march through the breadth of the land to possess the dwelling places that are not theirs. Ain't that what Esau do? Take lands that ain't his? They are terrible and dreadful. Their judgment and their dignity shall proceed of themselves. Their horses are swifter than the leopards. They are more fierce than the evening wolves. The horsemen shall spread themselves, a bunch of soldiers and police. Their husbands shall come from far, that shall fly as the eagle that hasted to eat. There go that eagle again. Esau is described as the eagle. Babylon, eagle, taking land that ain't his, right? They shall come all for violence, right? And he was blessed with the sword. They shall come all with violence. Their face shall sup up as the east wind. They shall gather the captivity as the sand, right? As he's gathering us up, slavery, right? And they shall scoff at the kings, and the princes shall be scorned unto them. They shall deride every stronghold, for there shall heap dust and take it. Then shall his mind change, and he shall pass over and offend, imputing his power unto God, his God, right? So now he want to compare himself unto the Most High. Art thou not from everlasting, O Yahweh, my God, my Holy One? We shall not die. O Yahweh, thou hast ordained them for judgment. And Almighty God, thou hast established them for correction. Thou art the pure eye. Thou art the pure eye than to behold evil, and canst not look on iniquity. Therefore lookest thou upon them that deal treacherously, and holdest thy tongue when the wicked devours a man that is more righteous than he. So this Habakkuk, he praying to the Most High, and he basically saying, Most High, like, why are you waiting? Basically, a lot of people, Ezra asked this at the end of second Ezra, chapter 6, right? He was like, how long, oh Lord? You know what I'm saying? or you're gonna let this happen, right? So that's along the lines of that, right? It says, and behold, it's the tongue when the wicked devoureth the man that is more righteous than he, verse 14, and maketh men as the fishes of the sea, as the creepy things that have no ruler over them, and take up all of them with the angle, and catch them in their net, and gather them in their drag, and they before they rejoice and they're glad, because that's what they did to us. They gathered us, they caught us from an angle, right? They didn't come to us straight up like strong people that was just gonna take us, right? They came at an angle, and they catch them in their nets, and they gathered them in their drag, and therefore they rejoiced and are glad. They was happy that they got all them slaves. Therefore they sacrificed unto their net. Therefore they sacrificed unto their net and burn incense to their drag, because by them their portion is fat and their meat is plenteous. Shall they therefore empty their net and not spare continually to slay the nations? Why would they give up all that they had done? All this wickedness that they done, they ain't finna give it up. Go to the next chapter. Habakkuk 2:1. And I will stand upon my watch, right? Because Habakkuk was a watchman. I will stand upon my watch and set me up on the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say to me. And bring me a charger. What he will say to me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved, right? So he's standing on the watchtower. He prayed to the Most High. He said, I'm waiting for the Most High to answer me. And he in his mind, he's finna be reproved by the Most High, right? And Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that read it. So he said, hey, go get something to write with, because what I want you to what I'm finna tell you, finna have to write down, right? Hold on. All right, there we go. That he may run and read it, and the person that read it is gonna be scary to him, right? For the vision is yet for an appointed time. So the vision that he finna give Habakkuk is for an appointed time, meaning a prophecy, right? So he's finna give Habakkuk a prophecy. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, right? Tarry means like to wait or to be delayed, or to like if we tarry in we go to Los Angeles and tarry there for 3 days, we stay there for 3 days, right? So though it may tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come and will not tarry. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up in him, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, but he shall live by his faith, right? So Esau, he crooked and he ain't upright. Ye also, hold on, yeah. Ye also, because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gather to him all nations, and he to him all people, right? America, melting pot. That's what he want. He want all people, and he want everybody land. He want everybody resources, right? Verse 6, shall not all these take up a parable against him, because everybody hate him, and taunt and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not him. How long? And to him that layeth himself with thick clay. Shall they rise? Shall they not rise up suddenly, that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou before Salakia, y'all. Let me take a second, take a step back. Okay. Shall they not rise up suddenly, that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, that thou shalt be for booties unto them? Booties is like spoils of war, right? So we like spoils of war to them, right? Because thou hast spoiled many nations. All the remnant of his people shall spoil thee, right? So just because he spoiled the nations, the remnant of us, because that's how who are going to be saved the first time, a remnant. All the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land and of the city and all that dwell therein. Woe to him that covereth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. So how can you do some evil stuff, right? To set your nest or your house on high so no evil can't come to you. That's a double negative, right? Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and has sinned against thy soul. You hurt your own self while you thought you was helping yourself. For the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer it. Woe to him that buildeth the town with blood, and established a city with iniquity. In the Torah, it say, it says, hold on, let me get it. Stay at that verse 1 second. One second, give me a second. Give me Numbers 35 and 33. I'm just gonna go back to Habakkuk right after this, 35 and 33. So it says, woe to him that established the land on blood, right? This number 35 and 33, it says, ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be, so you ain't supposed to pollute the land, but what pollutes the land? Blood. Blood defiles the land, and our blood and all is dirt, right? And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that sheddeth it. The only way that blood can be cleansed from that land is by the blood of him that sheddeth it. So you spill blood, your blood got to get spilled in order to cleanse it. Now go back to Habakkuk 2, I believe, I forget what verse we was at. Okay, scroll up. Boom, boom, 11, 12. Habakkuk 2 and 12, it says, woe to him that buildeth the town on blood and established a city by iniquity. Behold, it is not of Yahweh of hosts that the people shall labor in the very fire, right? And the people shall weary themselves for very vanity. And that's a cut to the hell doctrine. How people laboring in fire. These people alive, they're not even getting burnt, but he's saying they're laboring in fire, right? Let's keep going. For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of Yahweh as the waters cover the sea. Woe unto them, woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle with to him, and makest him drink also, that thou mayest look upon their nakedness, right? So woe to you if you try to, the nakedness is like not being covered by the Most High, right? Woe to you if you're trying to make that happen to your neighbor. Scroll up. Have them drink for the cup to make them naked, right? Verse 16. Thou art filled with shame for glory, right? Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord right hand shall be turned against thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory, because that's what Esau tried to do with us. Esau tried to make us uncovered. He tried to make us naked by like us in sin. And if we in sin, we're not covered by the Most High, right? Verse 18, what profited the graven image that the maker thereof have graven it? And the molten image, right? White Jesus, and the teacher of lies, and the maker of his work trusted therein to make dumb idols, right? And that's what white Jesus is, a dumb idol. Woe to him that saith to the wood, awake, and to the dumb stone, arise, right? The wood is the cross, the dumb stone is Mecca, right? Woe to him that saith to the wood, awake, and to the dumb stone, arise. It shall teach. Behold, it is laid over with gold and with silver, and there is no breath in it at all. in the midst of it. And the Lord Yahweh is the holy temple. Let all the earth keep silent before him. Next chapter. Last chapter too. Okay, so this is the prayer of Habakkuk, the prophet of Shinganoth, right? Now, in this chapter, so he prayed to the Most High, right? And the Most High basically told him, like, this wicked nation, right? It's this wicked nation gonna come against you, right? But I'm gonna destroy that wicked nation. And here's basically the end of it, right? Or how it comes together. The prayer of Habakkuk the prophet upon Shiniganath, right? The Lord, oh Yahweh, I have heard thy speech and was afraid. Oh Lord, Yahweh, revive thy work in the midst of the years, and in the midst of years make known. In wrath remember mercy. God came, hey, check this out. God came from Timah. Timah is like a city in Edom, and the Holy One from Mount Paran. If you look up these two places, these are places in the land of Edom, right? Basically, it's saying like Yahweh Shah just came. You know the story about who is this come from? Let's get it real quick. Go to Isaiah. 1 second. Go to Isaiah 61. 1 second. Isaiah 61 is the gospel. Okay, go to Isaiah 63 and 1. Because it said God came from Teman and came from the Mount and actually I want to look up them words real quick. It says, who is this that come from Edom with dyed garments from Basra, that is in glorious apparel, traveling with greatness in his strength, that I speak righteousness, that I that speak righteousness and mighty to save. Therefore thou art thou red in thy apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in a wine fat. So we got on white garments, and it looked like he got blood all over him. I have trodden the wine press alone, and of the people there were none with me. For I will tread them in my anger and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, the year of my redeemed is come. Now go back to Habakkuk. Habakkuk 3 and 1. Right? It's three. I'm gonna start at Habakkuk 3 and 3. It says, actually, let's look up this verse in the blue letter. Go to the blue letter. I'm gonna prove that this Edom. Habakkuk 3 and 3. Okay, scroll down to Teman first. From Teman. Right, scroll down. Teman, right? Son of Eleazar, grandson of Esau, one of the dukes of Edom. Edom, right? Scroll, go back. Now let's look up Mount for whatever that mount was. Go back to the verse. Actually, stay on that screen. Yeah, scroll down to Mount the P word. There we go. Okay, south of Sinai, a desert, because Sinai is let's just read it. Wilderness area bound in the north by Palestine, on the west by the wilderness of Ephelon, on the south by the desert of Sinai, on the east by the valley of Exodus, was through the area. Click on that root etymology word. Root word etymology, and then say H. Yeah, click that. Okay. It didn't take me no one. All right, go back. But Edom, right? Just go back to the verse. Actually, go back to the regular Bible. Right? Verse 3. And God came from Teman and from the Holy One of Mount Pernah, Selah, right? And Selah means to like stop and think about what you just read. That's Most High coming from doing them dirty, right? His glory covered the heavens, and the earth was full of his praise, and his brightness was as the light. And he had horns coming out of his hands, and there was hiding, and there was the hiding of his power. Before him went the pestilence, and burning of coal went forth at his feet. He stood and measured the earth. He beheld and drove asunder the nations, and the everlasting mountains were scattered. Right? Everlasting, if you look up this word up in a different translation, I mean ancient. The ancient mountains. A mountain is a nation, right? A big nation. So the ancient nations were scattered, and the perpetual hills, the hill is like a smaller nation. Perpetual hills did bow. His ways are everlasting, right? Yahweh ways are everlasting, right? I saw the tents of Cushan. Go back to the blue letter. Cushan, I believe this Ethiopia. I saw the tents of Cushan afflicted, right? Go back to the verse. Not this verse. We're at verse 7. And I just need one verse. I need the Cushan verse word. So I believe from the breakdown is go to the root etymology of the word. Mesopotamia, place in Arabia, Mesopotamia. Scroll down, Cush, son of black. Boom, right there, Ethiopia, Ethiopians. Yeah, these people are Ethiopia. All right, go back to the verse. Verse 7, and I saw the tents of Cushan in affliction, and the curtains of the land of Midian did tremble. Was Yahweh displeased against the rivers, or was thy anger against the rivers? Was thy wrath against the sea, that thou didst ride upon thou horses and thou chariots of salvation? Right? Because basically, like the second Exodus, like the first Exodus, right, was the Most High mad at the sea. You know what I'm saying? Like it's basically making a parallel. Thy bows was made quite naked, so he uncovered his bow. And according to the oaths of the tribes, even thy sword, right? Well, if you look at this up in the different translations, it said he made ready his arrows, Selah, right? Because he's getting ready to make battle, right? Thou didst cleave the earth with rivers. Scroll up. With rivers. Verse 10, the mountains saw thee and they trembled. The overflow of the water passed by. The deep uttered his voice and lifted up his hands on high. The sun and the moon still on their habitations. At the light of their arrows they went, and at the light of their arrows they went, and at the shining of thy glittery spear. Thou didst march through the land in indignation. So when he marching through the land, it's Yahweh. Well, it's actually Yahweh Shai. But when he marching through the land, he marching through it in indignation. Indignation is righteous hate, right? Didst thou thresh the heathens in anger, right? Thou wentest forth for the salvation of thy people, even the salvation with thy anointed, Yahweh Shai. Thou woundest the head out of the horse. Tongue tie words. Verse 13. Thou wentest forth for the salvation of thy people, even the salvation with thy anointed, right? Anointed is Mashiach in the Hebrew, right? The anointed is HaMashiach, right? HaMashiach, the anointed. And that's what Christ is. Christ mean in Greek, right? Thou woundest the head out of the house of the wicked by discovering the foundation to the next, Selah, right? And is that the end? No. I thought it was like 20 some verses. Selah, thou didst strike through with his staves, the head of the village. They came out as a whirlwind to scatter me. Their rejoicing was to devour the poor secretly. Thou didst walk through the sea with thy horses, through the heap of the great waters, right? Through the heap of the great waters. When I heard my belly trembled. My lips quivered at the voice. Rottenness entered into my bones, and I trembled in myself that I might rest in a day of trouble. When he cometh to the people, he will invade them with his troops, right, with his angels. Although the fig tree shall not blossom, neither shall the fruit be on the vines, and the laborer of the olive shall fail, and the field shall not and the fields shall not yield no, it shall yield no meat, and the flock shall be cut off from the fold, and there shall be no herd in the stall. That's this place being destroyed. So we got Yahweh, see at the top of this chapter, Yahweh came and it was a rumbling and everybody was scared and all this other stuff, right? Then he went about he destroyed a bunch of people. Then we got saved, and then the fig tree and all this other stuff. That's this place, right? This place ain't nothing gonna be here. Verse 18. Yet I will rejoice in the Lord, and yet I will rejoice in the Lord Yahweh, and I will joy in the God of my salvation. And Yahweh is my strength, and he will make my feet like hind feet, right? Like animal feet that run fast. And he will make me to walk upon the high places, and to the chief singer on my stringent instrument. Speaking of chief singers, this morning on Clubhouse, I heard Psalms getting sung in Hebrew, like by Israelite women. So it's Israelite women that done learned Hebrew or done learned the I guess the Psalm in Hebrew, and they singing it. And they know how to sing. It was dope. All right, and that's where my breakdown end. I was supposed to have a special guest again, but that didn't fall through. But we still here serving the Most High, giving them all honor and praise and glory. And with that, I want to give all honor and praise and glory to Yahweh, and do so in the name of Yahweh, in the name of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, Shabbat Shalom. Kwam Yashrala.
Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.
That's right. I'm waiting on you to end. Yeah, there you go.